Hello and welcome along and welcome back to Six Ashes. It is pretty early in the morning, it's 6:10. We're heading down to the other stables, so the one which has the track around it, which is a pretty neat area, to be honest. And the reason we're going down here is because somebody pointed out in the comments a couple of videos ago, you can buy slurry and manure from down at this stable, so that's where we're headed. We have our Marshall trailer on the back. Now the thing I'm worried about at the moment is this is quite a long trek and we have a lot of stuff to do. We do have 43,000 though, so we're going to give this a try. We're going to try this out, and if this works, what we'll probably do is see if we can hire a lorry full of and fill it up with slurry and take it back to our farm, because to come down here for 8,000 litres of slurry each time is gonna be quite a trek, quite a long way to go. We got around a lot of the field last time with only like 1,400 litres in here, so we might still be okay. The other question we got is this going to require us to use the hose mod? It's very possible it might. Do we have a hose mod attachment here? We do not. Okay, so we should be all right from this point of view. Let's try it. Yeah, there we go. So we can buy slurry and we'll fill it up, and it's $1 a litre. So oh no, $1 every 1,000 litres, I think that was 262. We cannot buy 8,000 litres of fertilizer for that price. That is just wow. Okay, so yeah, that is an absolutely brilliant way for us to go. I think we're probably going to end it. We'll see how far this goes, but if we find that we're going to need to do lots more trips for this field, then I think what we might do is hire a tanker of some description and see if we can get more slurry back. Having said that, it would only be about 30,000 litres, so it would only save us 4 trips maybe, but we'll see how it does. We're back down to the well, field 11B is where we're down to, and actually if this was 1,400 litres, we should be okay looking at this. We made it back round to this point, and of course today is the last day of our planting window for the canola, so we should be able to get it hopefully in this field. We've got it limed last time, which helps us a lot. Just getting this first level of fertilizer though, that is what we really need. If we can, I think we're not going to take more than maybe one more trip to get this done, which is absolutely brilliant news. To be able to get this field all done and all ready for the canola, and then immediately come in here with the cultivator. So that is going to be our second job for today once we've got this fertilized, and that should mean if we put that on course play, we can come in behind with the seeder and get that to do that behind us. So yeah, I'm hoping this is going to work out all right for us. We got that. I think we changed our cultivator last time. We got the Lemkin, so I'm half tempted to do the cultivating myself and come in behind with the seeder, but I think we'll be all right in general. And we're running out of slurry now. How far have we got through this field? I think we might get away with one more load. The field is getting smaller as we go, so I am just going to run this back down to the to the buy point. It takes about half an hour, 40 minutes in game to do it at the time we're running, so we should be back here by about 8 o'clock, I think. which would be good. If we can get the field finished at that point, that would be even better. We might even set the cultivator off going when we get back as well, just to make sure things are flowing properly the whole time we're doing this. Seems I was a little bit off on how long it would take to get that or to go and get the slurry. It is nearly 20 past 8. It's taken us nearly an hour to get down to the purchase point and back. So I think it'd be really, really wise to get some equipment that allows us to very easily buy and then distribute slurry on the farm. I'm thinking well, a couple of things being probably some sort of tanker lorry that we can do stuff with. Maybe not a fully articulated lorry, but one at least that I can get a load of slurry in and get it back here. The other is probably one of those field tankers, a slurry field tanker. I think would go really well with us being able to fully use this. So those are two updates I think we'll be looking at for the farm going forward, especially if we're going to be able to produce a lot of digestate. Then going all the way around to our BGA and back is going to be quite a trek each time. So we want to be trying to minimize that. But I'm going to go through, I'm going to get this field finished now, and then we're going to crack on getting it cultivated as well. We've got plenty of time. I think we might be able to actually do all these things ourselves today. Although by the end of the day, I think we're going to have a look at the horses as well. One thing to remember when you're doing slurry is that you've got no way of altering the rate on either side, and precision farming actually reflects this. So you can't, if you're going to a narrower and narrower part of the field, it will continue to pump out the full amount of slurry if it needs to pump out any slurry. So as a result, you can leave the sort of the little slithers and things. You can see that we've not got any points in the precision farming where we've missed, where we've got those slithers. It's all sort of gone very nicely together. So yeah, we'll do this little bit here because this little bit here is on there. Plus we have a little bit left in our tank, which is good. But all of those white patches you can currently see further up the field, all of those are properly covered because there's that little bit of area around them as far as precision farming is concerned where it's soaked in, and I really quite like that. I think that is an absolutely brilliant piece of functionality for it. And we're going to bring this back down here now because we're finished with this, and we want to go and grab the T-dub and get that working. So let's park this here. You can see all of our tractors are around this yard here. Oh, I'm still in two minds of exactly which yard is better for us. It's a hard choice because they're both really good yards. Oh, and I forgot. Today we're not using the cultivator. We're using the plow. And we need to do some slightly more realistic plowing with this. Now, I'm keeping hold of our 3-meter plow here. Because, yeah, we have, while this tractor, massive overkill for this plow. If we have a look in the shop, we can't do much better. So we currently have, in the garage, this 3 to 5 furrow plow. We've got the 5 furrow version of it, I think. We are at 3.5 meters. If we look in here, 2 meters, 2.5, 4.9. So those are the standard in-game ones. Then if we look at the tiny Pottinger servo from the Alpine pack, we've got 2.5 meters from the Cavernland pack one. And then if we look at the Lemkin ones, we're at 1.4 meters and we're at 100 horsepower for that. So it's, yeah, there's nothing that really comes close to this 3.5 meter 5 furrow plow we have. I mean, it doesn't go as deep, and that's why it doesn't require as much power, but it does do the job that we need it to do, and therefore it's one that we don't really want to be worrying about too much. Now we need, because this is non-reversible and being realistic about it, as we discovered last time, we kind of want to move the whole field in the same direction. So the way we do that is to make sure that we're always turning the turf in the same way. Well, no, we can't turn the turf in the same way, can we? We've got to, the way we've got to do this actually is we end up with either a rut or a bit in the middle of the field. So there's yeah, a rut or a hump in the middle of the field that you can't really get away from, I don't think. But reversible plows, I will be honest, confuse me. They are something that is from a previous time, and I have no idea particularly how they work. So we're coming up now to about a third, maybe a halfway through the field. I am going to set a hired worker going on this now. Yeah, so we've got ourselves set up quite nicely. We've got the field boundary here already decided, and the point at which that goes, and that's kind of why I needed to do this first bit manually. But now what I can do is actually set this with a hired worker, and this is one of the things that I hadn't realized. Because we've got multi-terrain angle on here, if you set it to be the angle that you want and then set your hired worker, so we want it the angle of the terrain there, which I think is 158, yeah, there, and hit the hired worker, they'll go along and they'll follow this angle, which I'd never realized. I can't believe that I'd never realized that before. But yeah, so that will now follow this angle and go along here, and hopefully should finish off the rest of this field, which means that we can head back over here and we need to fill this up with some seeds. So let's get that done. We're then going to go and take this tractor. We'll get the 6810 started doing the seeding, but then we need to take this tractor and go and do the horses, because the horses at the moment are actually, I realized, in a little bit of TLC. They've got grass and nothing else. Of course, they definitely need water and definitely need hay and all that. Well, they can survive on just the grass, but yeah, we really need to go and take care of them. So let's grab our canola seed, which is our final day for planting this, and get this loaded into our seeder. We'll leave this here, actually. So we'll leave that there, and then we can drop our pallet forks off here, because everything that uses pallet forks is now up at this shed. So that, like that. Get this refilled. We should fill that fairly nicely. Yeah, with plenty left. Close our trailer. We'll close our seeder. Start our tractor. And away we go. I'm keeping an eye on the T-dub because I'm hoping it's going to stay on this part of the field. And if it does, we're going to be good. Now, I think the 6810 is going to do this slower than its counterpart. In fact, before we head down to the field, I see we've only got about a quarter of a tank of fuel in, so it's not going to cost us anything to refuel it, so we might as well do that now. Turn off my tractor and hit that refuel. I don't know how much we have it left in our tank, so I think it might be worth worth hooking up the other tractor and just checking that quickly in a moment. But I think if we're going to fill it up, now is the time to do it. While we've still got 43,000 in our bank account, it'll cost us probably about 20,000 to refill the fuel tank. So it's something that we want to keep an eye on. But yeah, there should be enough space here for this. And I want to make... we're going to do this by a course play. So let's course generation. We want... no, we need to load field 11B edge first. There we go. And then course generation. There we go. So that's loaded that up rather nicely. Starting direction, I want to go longest edge and see if we can get this to match how it's going the other way. Headlands, I want 2. Yeah, 2 will do nicely clockwise. We want to up down rows, turn in the corners, okay, and generate me that. And that looks like that's actually going pretty well as far as how our other tractor is going. So that is perfect. No real issues. Let's head back. And I don't know how fast this will work. That tractor is pulling that at about 7 miles an hour, which hopefully means it should stay nicely ahead. And then this will just follow behind. And that way, when we see that the other tractor is finished, when the T-dub has finished its work, what we should be able to do is get this to work as we want. Right, first waypoint. Should be able to get these headland bits here in the right places. So, drive course. Canola is going in. And this is away. And this does this at... Wow, faster. So it's faster and wider. We are going to have to keep a big eye on this. Because, yeah, that might not be good. With those two tractors started and running, what we want to do now, as I said, is we want to get this so that we can just hook up, double check how much fuel we've got left, whether we need to refuel this and take it down to the fuel station. I know we've still got 1,900 liters in it, so that is plenty. Definitely treating this area more and more like a yard these days, and it's yeah, it's kind of naturally coming to be that. It's nicely central to everything else. It is probably going to cost us more money to get that yard done than the lower one down by the horses. But I think what I'd quite like to do maybe is build a house down in the horse yard. Give myself a starting point. Maybe even finally get a Land Rover or something on this map. We have the money at the moment. Whether how does that benefit our farm, getting that Land Rover? What would it allow us to transport? What would it allow us to do? So there is that. I really would quite like this barn as a placeable. That is an absolutely gorgeous barn, absolutely brilliant. Love the size of it, and I would love to put that up at the other farm because it would just work so well for us. Anyway, let's get this loaded up, and what I'm going to do is we're just going to skirt around the side of the building and clear up the carrots that's sticking out the side. We actually have a full bucket of carrots here, so we're going to just top them up with the stuff sticking out of this wall here. Yeah, there we go. It's not a huge amount that we got off it, but it has tidied it up a little bit. And we need to remember not to tip stuff near the edges of the walls. here in this case. So let's go round here and open this up, and that way we can get our horses all done. Yeah, it's not forgetting the horses. The horses do still bring us in a nice little income, and now that we're not paying for these stables, and now that we own them, it's actually a slightly different situation with these. Right, there we go, and in. Is that all of it? That is all of it. It's a slightly different situation in that they actually just raise money for us. They raise, I think they bring in somewhere between $1,000 and $1,500 per day, which is absolutely brilliant. Tip these over onto here. And we'll, as I say, keep the pile nicely in the middle a little bit. We want to try and clear things up. Yeah, so it's the two things that the thing that this place has going for it is the size of this barn. Is what this is, and I really quite like this barn. If I could find something similar to put up the top, I absolutely would. Heck, if I could swap the two barns, I absolutely would. This barn would be so great as our main barn up the top in that yard there. And that is the weird bit. I think I'd have to go in and edit the map to make that change. But it would work well. Right, let's squeeze through here. It would work very well. Now, why isn't our horse silage having an effect? Oh, it is having an effect. That is the one that we saw. So it is, yeah. So it isn't that they're having grass, it's that they've got a horse silage bale sitting there slowly being used. Whereas everything else we need to keep bringing in. This is so much easier now that we've cleared out the horse parts, or the horse jumping arena. It's just made a massive difference down this yard. Let's hook this up. And right, we need a hay bale. So get that in, and then we'll come back. We need to hook up our water trailer here for them, and we need to hook up our the straw blower as well. So bring this on. There we go. Only 419 litres of hay in this bale. But we put this back here last time because we had that rain on the way. I don't think we do at the moment. I think this is probably going to take all of this anyway. But the forecast is fairly dry until the end of next day. Or until, yeah, end of next day. Then we got sun. Then we got, oh wow. We want to do hay at any point in spring. We're just not going to be able to, I don't think. How does that affect our horses? Wow, they still need more hay. So we'll grab another bale and then we'll get them some water. Let's give them a moment. Squeeze our way through them. And then we can grab another bale from here. Yeah, I think a lean-to shed or something down here, and maybe building a house in the yard is a good way to go. Our house is next door, but I think that we should come and put it in here. Maybe have a nice little driveway with a whole load of stuff like this, and go from there. We're getting to the stage on this series now where we can make aesthetic choices, which is just that is the next big step up. When we're not having to make choices out of necessity anymore, and we are doing well enough on here that it is just a case now of making our farm as nice and as useful as possible is good. It's really, really good. Providing, of course, we can get all the jobs done. Oh, no, we do want these open because we need water and we need straw. And we've got a fair amount of manure down here now as well. We're making a nice little load of it down at the allotments to keep those going as well. How much water do we have? Not a lot, actually. So let's refill that as well. Like so. So yeah, we've got a nice little bit of manure around here now. You can see this is piling up. We've got a nice pile down at the allotments as well. I'd quite like to buy the fisheries and have another little bit of passive income for the farm. That though is down here and will cost 87,000. So that's not something we can buy at the moment. I'm just looking at the various, that section of land there, this middle area of land for the most part is really quite nice. 123% for this farm here, which is 463,000 with the sheds and things up there. That is quite a nice amount. The actual fields around by us are all pretty poor though. Yeah. 40 and 39 are the next two we're looking at, and as somebody suggested, we're gonna look at renting those for at least the first year, see if we can get a decent crop off them and a decent amount, and then go from there. We of course are now in mid-spring, so we're running out of time to actually put a grains crop in them. But I don't think that's the end of the world. We have potatoes kicking about. And so I think that potatoes might be a good way to go down there. It will take us time to do them, but they would work well. And we can implement a second crop rotation with potatoes because there is a really good crop rotation. They're discovered on Herrington Valley in one of my recent live streams. Basically a 4 crop rotation that includes potatoes and means the wheat in it ends up at a 20% boost overall. The potatoes only drop 5%, which for potatoes in rotation is and if you're not going with fallow, is really good. And yeah, should just work really well for us. So we'll give that a try, I think. Also, I picked up a new water bowser. We've used, yeah, this water bowser is perfect for our horses here. Refill that. But we don't need quite so much or quite such a big bowser down for our allotments. So we will. We're gonna look at changing that up as well. I'm just glad that we've caught doing our horses on here, because if we didn't, that would have been bad. I was talking about my cows on Bessie, but no, on my cows on Herrington Valley recently, and I started calling them horses. I do not understand what it is with me calling horses cows and cows horses. Let's close this gate because that is all done, and then get this into here, and we need to remember to switch to the back one so that it actually unloads the right way. There we go. 2,500 litres of straw in here. It used about 1,000 litres. Yeah, we're still not using that much. But it is working out. And it's working out very nicely down here. We are not going to need to sell any We're not going to need to keep any straw or hay that we make this year. It is all going to very nicely go to our money. Now, when does soybeans need selling? Is my other question. We do still have this pile of soybeans here that we need to sell. And if we go into this menu here and have a look. Yeah, so it is day 3 of summer. So I want to keep an eye on that. So we still do have a whole load of money coming in from the sale of our soybeans later in the year as well. So there's still a lot of money for us to have on this map. It's just we've got a little while to go for it. I think we could probably sell some of these carrots as well. We probably have more carrots here than we need. Right, let's drop this off. And we'll head back up to the other farm and go and check out what's happening with our seeder and our plow. And not a moment too soon, it appears. Our seeder has caught up with our plow. So let's stop this. It's going slightly less distance along the field as well. So, let's completely back this out of the way. Let our plow go a bit further. And we're going to need to get it to restart this row. But what we can do is now actually probably take over from the seeder or from the hired worker on the seeder. But yeah, we need to leave the plow to keep going for a bit. I'm wondering, I want to have a look at how well our plow has been doing this job. And actually, it's been doing an absolute bang-up job. That is really good. So the hired worker is actually doing quite well at the moment. And I'm going to pause him. I'm going to pause this where it is pretty much. That is good. It is 10 to 5 in the afternoon, and our plow and our seeder are nicely through this. We've got, yeah, just this day for the canola. The temperature is right, and it's all good. So with this going in, that should be good. Now, what I want to do, and what I'm waiting for, is nearest waypoint, and I want to see where this is. See, it's only a small overlap, but it was enough. But was it an overlap at all? Yes, it was a very small overlap. Okay, so that's fine. We're gonna place this here, start her up, and there. And then get it going on that. And then I want to clear those off. Drive course. Yeah, and then we'll stop it there. And we'll let the plow get to the point where it's got most of the rest of the field done. It was heading over slightly. But yeah, if we leave that there, the plow can get a bit further along. And hopefully at that point, it will all be good. I'm going to take the 7810, I think, and see how our allotment is doing while these two are working on that. I'm actually quite surprised. This is now going the other way. We might end up having to go and get some more slurry and do our fields. If we can get ahead on that, that would be a good thing. What do our fields need? Let's have a look. So you can see there the canola going on. We are a good pH everywhere, so we've limed everything. And well, actually we're kind of on the, I don't know. I think we actually do want to be liming everything. So let's do that. Our little lime spreader, as I said, is not great. And if we're going to do a large liming session, then I think our best bet is to head down to the shop, grab ourselves a larger spreader, and see how far we can get the rest of our fields limed before we have to get to work on them. Down at the shop, and let's get a nice piece of kit hired. So under here, fertilizer technology. I don't think we need anything bigger than that. Don't think. Oh, there's the kit. That's that one. There's those ones. What? How much are those? 24,000, 13,000. This coon one is actually really good. We've used that on the northern coast, or Eddie's used that on the northern coast. It does a lot of different things that spreads. These lizard ones look quite nice as well. How much does that hold? 5,000 liters in a little lizard. We can take that. Wow, we can take that up to that. That's a really small, neat little lime spreader for 24,000. This one is a lot bigger, but does 10,000 liters. Would cost us only £600 to rent, or we could buy for 13,000. That's quite a. That's only 10,000 more than our current little spreader. Not sure that this has any care wheels on it is the only thing. Not that that's a massive issue, but would take 125 horsepower is the biggest problem. So how big is this one? This one is, again, not that big and comes in New Holland colours. I think I'm going to give this a test run. 30,000. It holds 8,800 litres. Let's lease this. Give this a try. Yes. And see what it's like. It is tiny. But that is only going to work for us, to be honest. So let's back up to this. Yeah, fits in very, very well with the whole theme of our farm. Now, does it have? It does have a cover you can take off. Kind of prefer it without a cover on. And we'll go and fill this up. So I'm going to take this down to the lime tank, the lime purchase point. We'll get this filled up, and we'll head up to our fields and get them limed. £1,300 on lime, and looks like that in our little trailer. It's a funny little trailer, this, but I do like it. It's yeah, great for doing this on. Now, I don't think we did the top end field. In fact, I'm pretty sure we didn't. Should come up here. Yeah, you can see the very distinct line. So we'll turn this on. Go down here. Get that going. Before I go any further. Yes, that is doing nicely. Good. So we'll head round here. Not a massive spread on this. I'm trying to keep an eye on exactly what our spray rate is, but you can see it is doing a good job on here. It is actually getting this covered, which is good news. Now into this canola. Is this where? So we went carrots to canola. I'm not sure what we've got following on from this. It might be the soybeans. It might be the It's not the carrots. So I think the carrots are going in where the oats were last year, and so the soybeans must be going in where the canola is this year. So it's actually a fairly similar rotation as I'm thinking of doing with potatoes. So I think we might see if we can add a little bit more variety in with that second rotation if we can. But it's getting the stuff into it and getting a new setup going from there. We have the fields to go and do that now. I'm expecting this to cut off at this point. Yep, there we go. And then we can get back into here and we can get the rest of this field done. I'm going to do one more headland and then I'm going to start at the top end and do some more straight lines in line with everything else on this field. This little spreader is actually pretty perfect for our farm. We are at 32% remaining of the lime. It has, so it fits roughly the size of one of our fields very, very nicely. I mean, with 30% left, we could probably get rid of the extension, to be honest, or use the slightly smaller one. Which would then do an entire field. I think this would probably cover our biggest field. Field 17 would be covered rather nicely by this. So I think a purchase of something like this eventually is going to be a really good one to go with. For this year, we are going to hold on to it and get the other fields limed as well. We're in an interesting position here where we are. What? It is 8:30 in the evening. Our tractors are doing okay. How's our plowing coming? Let's have a look at this. Looks like, yeah, you can see here our plow is working its way through. It's on the shorter bits now. So I'm tempted to get the other tractor working. We'll see if we can limit its speed a bit. I think these are going to be going into the night to get this job finished. But I don't think that's the end of the world. So let's see if we can also... I want to lower our working speed on this. So we should be able to do that at some point. Turn speed, field speed. Okay. If we reduced that down to 6 miles per hour and drive course, let's see if that actually limits that to 6 miles an hour, and then hopefully it shouldn't catch up. It seems that is going along at 3 miles an hour, but I think we've got an issue with course play because there we go, it has freed up. Let's see if we can get this to go a little bit faster. That takes it right up. So I'm gonna take it down to 10 miles an hour here and see if that adjusts things, and then we're gonna go and finish up. So both our tractors are now working in the field. They should get that planted today, which is good. They'll have to go a little bit into the night, but we'll get that finished off. I want to get this lime back to our farm. We'll probably continue doing some work with this next time, trying to get our fields together and ready. All in all, though, it's coming along very nicely. We've got to get the carrots. We've got to get the carrots in next, I think, and then the soybeans. I think we may need to get the oat field done first, so that should do it. Yeah, we're at the end of the day here, and it's time to end. So all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel, ring that bell, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.